Hello. Hey, it's me, Steve. This is weird. We're doing an analysis of my Players Cup matches. This is the first one. Spoiler, I lose here, but we're going to go over what I did right, what I did wrong, or what I think I did. I did talk with I do coaching. I did talk with my coach about this match of what I could have done better here. But anyways, if you don't know who I am, I make Pokemon content for a living. I qualified for the Players Cup 2. It was my first big tournament ever. I went 1-2. I won 1 set, and then I lost 2 sets. When you lose 2, you're out of the match here, or out of the tournament, I should say. I'm playing a hard Trick Room team, which I didn't really prep for. On top of that, this looks like to be a Series 5 team. You needed to play Series 5 to qualify for the matchup. So they're running a Hatterene, a Liepard, a Mudsdale, a Porygon, a Torkoal, and a Venusaur, and I decided to run my Articuno Grimmsnarl, and then Tapu Fini and Ice Horse. We'll just say Ice Horse. Just also, where I'm playing this back at 1.25 speed, so so it's a little bit quicker since this was like a 30-minute video, and if we play by 1.2, that's like, how much of the time do we save? 5 minutes. Anyways, they open with Hatterene and Liepard, which I kind of expected. I expected like a fake out Trick Room here. And I opened with Articuno and Grimmsnarl, so my thought process was I'll set up screens, and then I thought I was 200 IQ, and I thought because the Hatterene would Trick Room and the Liepard would fake out, that they would that I would be able to just switch into Glastier here and to prepare for the Trick Room, since Glastier is my Trick Room counter. It's my slowest Pokemon. I don't run Trick Room, so I thought that this was big brains. It was not. They decided not to Trick Room. As you can see, they are here Dynamaxing their Hatterene. So I kind of made a mistake in this instance. I should have maybe just started to do damage on Hatterene with Articuno. But I didn't see this play coming. So this put me behind right off the bat, because they'll end up Max Starfalling into Grimmsnarl, so I don't even get a chance to run screens. I don't get a chance to do any damage. I literally do nothing on turn 1. So I'm not feeling particularly good. I do know at this point, though, they can't set up Trick Room unless they switch out the Liepard, or unless the Dynamax is over. So at least in that instance, I outspeed the Hatterene, I suppose. There's a couple things I could do. I could max Steel Spike into the Hatterene, but I know that doesn't knock out. But I feel like this was not the right play. I decided to Dynamax Articuno, so Articuno lives at least lives one thing from Hatterene, and I decide to go for the Liepard to just wait for Hatterene's Dynamax to end. I know that it has Max Mindstorm. I know that has Max Flare. These are open player sheets, so I do know specifically what they're running. And then they have the Max Starfall, and then they have Protect. So they don't do super effective damage to Articuno. I just wasn't sure if Articuno would survive, so I Dynamax, and I use Max Airstream. I know the Liepard is sashed. Again, open team sheets. But, gosh, I could have probably the better play here is to do my Max Ghost move into Hatterene to lower the defense, and then go into, like, Icicle Crash because the defense is lowered. But I opted for the Liepard, which is actually, I mean, in hindsight, everything's easier to analysis in hindsight. Obviously, then they probably bring out a Trick Room. They bring out Porygon, which I think activates the Trick Room. This surprised me a little bit that the Max Flare was able to knock out the Glastier, the Ice Horse, because I am Assault Vested. I have calced to be able to survive. Well, when Dynamax, I can survive an Eruption from Torkoal, even if the Torkoal is choiced. So, and that's not even, Max Flare's not even stabbed from Hatterene. Now I'm in like a really, really hard win position here, because in a 1v1 Tapu Fini versus Porygon, I lose. I think the only way I win is if I get off like 2 Calm Minds. But again, this is my first match of the entire tournament. I'm super nervous. I've never competed at this level before, and I'm playing a team that I have 0 practice against. In Series 7, I didn't practice against Hatterene or Porygon or Liepard. And they have so many options, right? They could have Copycat Trick Room. They could have Porygon Trick Room. They could Hatterene Trick Room. I actually expected Torkoal and Venusaur. I was actually really scared of the Venusaur on the team. That's why I was like, well, Max Airstream could do damage here. I go into the Porygon thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't think I can knock out the Hatterene, so I know the Hatterene ends here. Muddy Water, hoping that I get an accuracy drop. It doesn't matter on Dynamax Hatterene. She can't miss. She maxed Mindstorms, and I barely survived that. I think this whole game is really... I'm very discouraged at this point that I have, like, no way to win. So I think in hindsight, leading with the horse would have been the better play, and or just not swapping to the horse, because they didn't opt to Trick Room until this turn. And now I have a faster Articuno, which is at a disadvantage. And yeah, there's not too much I can do here. I protect, which probably doesn't matter. I mean, I guess I survived the Dazzling Gleam here. And then Thunderbolt into the Finny. Max Phantasm does knock out Hatterene. I did calc this. It's about 88% to 102% with Hatterene at full health, not Dynamaxed. So I think we got a bit of a higher roll there. I calc this after the match, so in the next game, I don't know if I would take that. I don't know if it would have been worth it. Because, again, I know that if it Dynamaxed, I'd have to probably two-shot it, maybe even like need to tickle it with another Pokemon. But yeah, I did the calculation. It was about 88 to 101% with that. And then here, yeah, at this point, there's not a lot I could do. If I would have Calm Mind earlier with the Finny, we probably would have done something to the Torkoal, but Finny didn't even survive. I mean, the special defense boost would have been nice for the Thunderbolt, would have been good for any of the fire moves that Torkoal does. But at this point, I don't think I showed off. Yeah, the only move I guess I didn't show off is my Max Mindstorm, which is it doesn't matter, the open team sheets. So that's fine. So we lose that match. And then we set up for game 2 here. And as we're setting up, I'll just show you my team if you want to rent it. And that should still be available. I still don't think I'd make any changes to the team. I don't think the team is the problem. I think I'm the problem for this. But anyways, here's game 2. So, again, this is hard Trick Room. So I think the horses need. I think the 4 Pokemon I pick is absolutely the 4. I don't have any regrets in that. I think if I was the only physical Pokemon, well, I guess they have 2 physical. They have Liepard and they have Mudsdale, but they have a very special heavy team. So I feel like screens are decent here. Calm Mining with Finny is good here. Max Earth Power. Wait, what's it called? Max Quake is also good here. But this is a best 2 out of 3. I lost my first game, so I'm not feeling very great. This whole thing threw me for a loop. So I decided to do the same lead in anticipation of. Oh no, I decided to slightly change my lead. I decided to go with Tapu Fini and Articuno in the front. I think in retrospect, leading with Glacier is really good. Glacier is faster outside of Trick Room for almost all of these Pokemon. And then while in Trick Room, it's still good. So I think leading with the horse and maybe Dynamaxing and putting pressure on right away is the correct thing to do. They lead exactly the same. So again, I make the same mistake here, which is I switch a Pokemon turn 1 and I just let them set up. I make this mistake twice, and I think putting pressure on this team would have been better. So lead Articuno, I switch into Grim here because I figure that they're not going to max Starfall into Articuno. And then that gives me time to set up the light screen. And then I think I toy with maybe Dynamaxing. This in retrospect, I know exactly what I should have done. I protected here because I knew the fake out was coming, but it was actually a waste of a protect. What I should have done, because neither of these Pokemon really do that much damage to Finny. I think Finny was an okay lead. I think last year was a better lead. I should have just Calm Minded. I accept the fake out and then Calm Mind again the second time. because now I can't protect here because I just protect. I mean, I could protect, but it not guaranteed to work. Because then I could have protected the second time and then started stalling out Trick Room and starting out Dynamax. So they go for the trick. They go for Trick Room right away. Fake out Trick Room, which was what I expected the first time. I thought it was Big Brains. That didn't work. So the Hatterene, I think, goes right into. If I remember correctly, I think the Hatterene goes into the Finny and doesn't really do that much damage. Here's the light screen. So saving grace. I hope that this works, but spoiler, it doesn't. Liepard, fake tears here. So yeah, so we have a light screen up, so in the fake tears, so that kind of cancels it out. Oh, wait. Okay, I didn't, so, sorry, I slightly misremembered. They did go into the Grim that time. Although they did the tears into Finny. So I bring out the Glacier, and I believe do I Dynamax? Did I make the mistake here? Do I do it? Do I max Quake? I watched this morning, but now I don't remember because I've watched so many replays of different matches of what I do. I think the only way I really win at this point is by using Calm Mind, and I don't think I opt to do that until it's too late. Because again, if they bring Porygon or they bring Torkoal, I'm not able to do that much against it. I do Dynamax the Glacier, the Ice Horse. And yeah, Max Steel Spike I know does super effective damage, but I also know that they're running a very special team. They do the fake tears. I have the light screen up, so it kind of cancels each other out. Remember that Finny. So I know for sure I tank this. I did the damage calcs here. I tanked that super well. Imagine if the fake tears wasn't there. It would take Hatterene, what, almost 4 to 5 max flares in order to take me out. But yeah, the fake tears really kind of ruins the whole light screen plan. And again, I let them set up turn 1. I've played really defensive both sets with literally doing nothing. Both games, both on turn 1. So that's like a huge learning. That was like a huge learn for me that I should have. I mean, like, if I would have just let Grim set up screens and then die that first game and then switch into Glacier, I would have been in a better position, but I switched into Glacier and then Grim just died. So I know that at full health, I can survive Torkoal Eruption in the Sun, even if choice specs as Glacier. I know that for sure. I did that calc, but now I'm slightly weak. So I think they double into Glacier. Yeah, see, and this Torkoal is running Charcoal. Yeah, they double in, which is the correct play. If I didn't get fake tears, that one with light screen, oh, we would have been very set. But, and Muddy Water does little to nothing in the Sun. Again, maybe I should have Calm Mind there. I think that was the better play. And I think leading with Articuno was such a disadvantage. I don't think Articuno was the bad Pokemon to bring here. I think after Trick Room is set up, Articuno can sweep. But even that first turn in game 1, I should have just like Shadow Balled and did damage to Hatterene, because then I wouldn't have had to think about waiting for it to not Dynamax the 2-shot. He switches here, which again, I have like a super healthy Finny and I'm not using Calm Mind. But that Finny is -2. Even with the... I double protect because this is last turn of Trick Room. So I double protect here. So now I have the speed. And again, this is just a hard position. I can't knock out the Porygon. I know that Trick Room is coming again. I think I sound like a broken record, but I think the only way I could have won is with 2 Calm Minds on Finny, and I had plenty of opportunities in this match to do it. At this point is my first Calm Mind. Shadow Ball, I believe, does do the knockout here. Again, at this range, it was... oh, it does not. Oh, yeah, because this is when I did the calc. So I don't know if... I actually think Hatterene staying alive is okay. Because it prevents the Torkoal from coming in. And again... my only win condition is having 2 to 3 Calm Minds, surviving a Torkoal, and then being able to use Muddy Water. Because even in the Sun, a plus 3 special defense and a plus 3 special attack would be able to knock out the Torkoal. but I'm already -2. They did that early on. So, yeah, this is the so many changes I would have made. They Thunderbolt into the Finny. I Air Slash here. I don't know why. I should have just Shadow Balled. Air Slash had a 5% chance to miss. I think maybe going into Porygon and just keeping the Hatterene out so I can not worry about the Torkoal at this point. We're -1 now in special defense, and we're +1 in special attack. And I believe screens ends in a turn or two. But yeah, there's no way. The Porygon's so bulky, it recovers. I think keeping the Hatterene alive, going for the Porygon. I'm super discouraged though. I feel like there's nothing I can do to win. They see this predict coming, so I believe the Porygon goes into the Finny here. Yeah, see, like Torkoal against Finny auto wins. Even at this range, but if I had one more Calm Mind, Torkoal would have been gone. I don't know if I don't think Articuno Finny I don't think Articuno Finny even beats Porygon. This kind of wraps up the match, but our next set is 3 matches. I do win the next set, and I've made plenty of mistakes there, but unfortunately, this whole team threw me off. I was not expecting a hard Series 5. I've only had about a week and a half of practice with this team. I built it with my coach. I'm confident in the team, but there's just, in retrospect, it's just like, okay, you lead with the horse, you need to Calm Mind. I think the 4 Pokemon I picked were right. And I think the thing that threw me off that first game was like I thought I was 3 million IQ by switching into Glacier when the Trick Room was coming, but I didn't do anything to put pressure on that, and that's very clear in this game. There's like no pressure being put onto them. Even though Series 5 seems like a disadvantage, well, I guess I think everyone would argue was a disadvantage. They were obviously very, very comfortable with the team. This is probably the team they used for Player Cup. I think they actually might have tweeted that they didn't have time to practice with a new team, so they were just bringing their Series 5. But that was the match. That was my evaluation on it. Hopefully, me going over it points out some things to you. I think it's good that I can learn from my mistakes. I'm still growing as a competitive player, so that was the match. Here is the team if you want to rent the team and use it for yourself. I like the team. I think it's great. I think it's very solid. I think that I just made some mistakes during this match. I pointed them all out, but that's okay. It's a learning experience. I knew that I wasn't going to win this tournament. This is my first big tournament, but I can watch this back. I can go, I did this wrong. I did this wrong. I could have done this better. I should have been more offensive. I need to learn myself when to be offensive, when to be defensive. And that is something I'm working on to become a better player. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you want more competitive stuff, or you just like my content, a like is super appreciated. Leave a comment below. I don't know, do the YouTube stuff, no big deal. But anyways, I appreciate this. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and we'll see you there's 3 sets of battles. So this is the first one, and then there'll be the second one, which I do end up winning to go on to game 3, or to set 3, and then set 3 is when I lose and get eliminated from the Players Cup. But I had a really great time, and I thought the Pokemon Company did a really good job organizing this. As somebody who did a lot of TCG in IRL Pokemon events, this online Pokemon Run official event was the smoothest I've ever played in. So shout out to the Pokemon Company for having a smooth event. At least on my end, it was very smooth. But thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.